Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is now part 2 of the play along of the agriculture hotfix. So last time we left off after they had just harvested everything. So now we are basically just waiting for enough materials to build more huts and then to adjust things as we go along. Because you can see, if you check the unhappy faces of your tribe, you can see that the problem they have is that they have no proper housing. And since it has been going on for many months, they are extremely unhappy. So they do not like that. And also with regards to the housing and how people are behaving, for anyone who does not know, if your tribe knows that there are better alternatives existing, they will demand it. So if you don't have a Neolithic roundhouse, they will be super happy with the big reed hut. They will think there's nothing better in the world. But if you have it grayed out, it means that your tribe has actually heard of it and they know it exists. They just don't know quite how to build it. But your people will still demand it and be unhappy. You will see that they won't have as much happiness from the other houses when they know that this one exists. So be aware of that. But that's fine. We can get used to it. Let me see. They should all basically be suffering from the same unrest, which is the housing. I have enough. I have enough of both, but I only have enough ropes to make one, and I should of course make the reed hut. Ta-da! There are some players who has asked me if I can explain a little bit about people's traits and the grades of the traits. I have made a how-to explanation video previously. It belongs under the playlist Ancient Cities Tutorials How To, but I can do more than that because there are a lot of calculations with regards to how people are behaving, and with the randomness they have added to the game or to this system, they are basically mimicking people. They are mimicking how we are today and how we were back then with regards to reactions, what traits people are born with, not traits but grades of traits. All are born with the same traits. Let's be clear about that. All traits are always the same, but the grades are different. And within each grade you also have different behaviors based on other grades of traits in their personality. So let's have a look at why some people are the way they are. Now, what I find really important is to see the combination. For instance, clumsy, what will this affect? This is a trait, a grade from the trait skill. When you have a grade in the negative, which is a red, so if you just remember, red is bad, blue is neutral, and green is good. So blue means it is pure biology, like it's a young child, it's a small child, and it is a girl. So these are the things that are static. Like the females can't be changed, the small can't be changed, however, the young will change. And the green, of course, is the positive of the grade from the trait that you can see, which in this case is intelligence. And yellow is current feeling, current state of mind, what they feel at the moment and how they are at the moment. So this is kind of the basis of how people are behaving. And also remember, for whatever you do, it's the same with the environment. Your reactions will cause your people and your environment to respond in kind. Whatever you do, you will have back to you with regard to their reaction. So that is a really important part that not everyone is remembering. Just think real life is the same as real life as far as the devs have managed to do it. So if you look at the combination here, this is a smart child. However, She is clumsy. So what will that affect? What effect will it have on her life? Okay, we all know that clumsy, have 4 thumbs, or however many people say that you have. She can drop things, she can stumble over things, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't understand what's going on. It's just her body is not listening to what she wants to do, and she will keep stumbling over the benches and hopefully not the weapons. Um, so the smart means that she has the ability to learn faster. She will more quickly pick up new skills. And you can see her green here shows how much she has learned in the month that has passed. And this is really, really good. This is good. Remember, she's just 11. And children, until they are grown-ups, which is 16, I think is considered in this game. Yeah, 16-ish, will have their fitness slowly increasing. So when you have your children, you will always have children. If you don't have children, something is wrong. You need to remember that the policies that you set will affect your children so much. Both the rationing, the work hours are so important to do right, so that you don't kill off your future workforce. We talked about this a little bit in part 1, so shan't go too much into it in part 2, but keep that in mind always. Let's see, what did we put our things on? It should be exactly that. Rationing you shouldn't do. That will hinder the growth, or the rate of growth in younger people. And labor time, increased labor time, will hinder them having the rest that they need after work is done. Pardon my voice, I just had a really bad cold, and my voice is a bit bob. But there you go. Let's have a look at more behaviors and grades of traits and stuff and see. So this one here, feeble, belongs to fitness. Feeble is one of the lesser grades of negative belonging to fitness, and this decides your overall fitness, your overall physical strength, to put it like that. And this is also a cause for concern, because if you do sometimes turn up your workforce, you are kind of gambling on if these people will stay or not, because they are too weak to handle the same work hours as the most other tribe. The people who do not have these trait reduction grades, they are fine with short-term increased work hours, while these can barely handle the default work hours. So keep that in mind. If you have a tribe with a lot of these negative grades of the trait fitness, your work will be affected, your result will be affected. So this is why I am claiming all the time, harping on about that you need to adjust everything based on your tribe. So what you're doing in tribe 1 might not necessarily be fully successful in tribe 2, because no 2 tribes are the same. So that's it. So she will not always be happy about the work hours. So be aware of that. And even if you have it on default, which everyone should handle, those with fitness reducing grades are more often than not okay with it, and they will complain. Okay, and then we have, let's have a look at this one. This is aloof. So their charisma is basically not that good. So they will not become leaders, I can tell you that straight away. But I think most of you knew it. New players that did not know it, now you do. If you don't have good charisma, you will never be a leader. What she has speaking for her, though, which is counter-effecting her poor grade of fitness, is her size. She is very big. What does that mean? That means that she has increased charisma, first of all, but her fitness is also increased. Then what does this mean then? What does this mean game-wise? It means that she can work more. She has better physique. She can manage normal work hours. And how can we tell? First of all, she does not have an unhappy face. Secondly, if you look at her current thoughts and current descriptions of actions, you will not find that she's complaining about the work hours. So this is what I mean with the combination. So having a red trait does not always mean everything is gloomy and bad. Because this makes up for her having 18 in fitness reduction. Because if you take away 13 from 18, you have 5, and 5 is not much. And it's certainly not enough for her to be unhappy. So there's that. This is just one of them. Let's have a look at another one. Because of course there are a million combinations, aren't there? Let's see, what are you? Let's have a look. Wait, I need to pay attention to food. How is the food looking? Yeah, 26 of those. 11. Look, the rose hips are not popular in this tribe. Can you see that? Can you see that the decay circle is quite big? While the nuts are not. But it's also because the season for nuts is just basically going out now. Well, the rose hips have been out for quite a few months. Or at least, let me see. Yeah, a few months max. Yeah, we are saving the seeds, aren't we? Yeah. Let me see. You. Okay, that's good. And we have a lot of grain that needs to be eaten up. So what I'm going to do, adjustment already. If you do not want to change your numbers, if you just can't be arsed to change your numbers, take down your work spot. Ta-da! Same effect. Or lower your work hours. But that will affect everything. So don't do that unless you have an overall too high income of everything. Right? Did I find a new person? I'll look at you. What are you? You are unfriendly. So the charisma mostly affect, in big decisions, it affects leadership. So people who have any negative grade of charisma are not going to be leaders, and they often find themselves alone because that is what they choose. I'm not sure I totally agree with that people who like to be alone should be classified as either aloof or unfriendly, because we are all having days or times where we are more introvert than extrovert. So we are basically all of us ambiverts, if you look at it like that. So I would really like if this could be adjusted a little bit to be a little bit more inclusive of those of us who like to be more alone than in a large crowd of people, which we are many. I am one of them, but I'm more ambi than intro. So let's be clear that we are all different and all of us are unique. And I like it exactly like that. This game reflects it. So you just need to guide a little bit with regards to what is okay to exclude. And I find very little is okay to exclude with regards to the diversity we have in personalities and how people are and how they want to be, how they choose to be for many reasons, and how they would like to be, who they are, basically. We are who we are, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So yeah, so that is something I might take up with the devs, because being introvert is not a bad thing. It's not a red. It's something we either are or we're not, or we are both. We are both intro or extrovert, meaning we are ambi. Butterfingers, I love this one. Well, when we come up with this, when we sat down and did all these, redid them, basically, is the more correct way to say, because the dev started this way before I came into the picture, and then we redid some of them, and then we looked around, we googled around to find really cool words or fun words, and then one of the devs found this one, and I absolutely died when he used this, because this is so cool, isn't it? I do like that they are showing, the devs are showing their personality and some of the humor in what they do in the game. And this is rather American, isn't it? For instance, if you look at Sims or World of Warcraft, you will see that they have this kind of humor, which I find so welcoming. I love this humor because it does open up a more vulnerable side of people. It shows us that they are humans, doesn't it? Not everything is perfect tip top and, you know, perfect written English or anything like that. It is humor, and humor is the best icebreaker ever in the world. It makes people feel welcome, people feel more at ease with a universally shared sense of humor. And this I feel they have managed to do in, for instance, adding Butterfingers. Everyone knows what Butterfingers are, you know. It's quite fun. Oh, he's very big as well. Well, he's pretty big. He's not very big, he's pretty big. So that is a grade of the neutral state size. So there's a lot of shade. There's a lot of different degrees of absolutely everything here. But the three important ones are the three negatives and the three positives. And the blues are basically just biology, and some of them are static. I mean, male is male, or whatever you choose to be. It's all okay. You are who you are. I accept everything. Your business, nobody else's. Let's see. Oh, she's overworked. Let's have a look. She must have a higher grade. Let's have a look at her. She must have a higher grade of this. She's frail. This is the worst one. This is the third grade of the negative trait result, fitness. So she's minus 36. That means that her fitness is fairly low, and she will never go above 64. So if you look at her fitness, it says 64 out of 64. So if she had something that could be repaired, for instance, you had work hours going too high for too long, her fitness to the right would show a higher number, because her fitness to the left is how she is reducing her fitness based on lack of recuperation time, lack of time to be with family, lack of time for herself, basically. It is the same back then as it is now. Just remember real life and then put it over to the game. It is the same. The behavior has been mimicked. Just keep that in mind. And what is she? She's unhandy. Yeah, it's quite bad. The worst one is, of course, Butterfingers, because everything is just bad when you're Butterfingers. So, but if you hover over, you will have their initial trait page, and you can see that her charisma is 100. She can't get more, and the only time it will go higher is when she is pregnant. Charisma increases when you're pregnant, but your fitness, like, boom, drops like a rock when you're pregnant. I personally think it should be the other way around. I think you should have lowered charisma and much higher fitness when you are pregnant. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a mother. How do I know? And her intelligence is static as well. You can see that it's plain 100. There is no growth there. The intelligence and all other traits will start to count down to her end of life when she's old, and it starts roughly at 60 years old, and then it will go down and down and down, and the overall number as well will go down with you, meaning that you cannot do anything to increase it. So if it says, for instance here, fitness 64 out of 64, you as a player cannot increase it. The game will not increase it. Nothing you can do will sort that. And her skill level is static as well. So this is the things you can see yourself if you are wondering, why is this person behaving the way he or she is, or they are. Then you can go and have a look and put two and two together. So remember that the combinations can often change behavior as well, like I showed you earlier with the fitness and then being big, which negated a lot of the lack of proper fitness, the lack of physique. So this is a can of a lot of information, and there is still a lot of information in the behavior calculations. He also is pretty big. Why are all my people so big in this tribe? I must admit, I do miss the overview of citizens, at least when we are not 500 people, because it's not bad when the tribe is small, is it? You can easily see and click whoever you want to view. But as it is now, you have to, click through everyone to find whatever you're looking for or to do any kind of calculations. Okay, let's find back to the dude I had, because he had a few traits I want to go over. No, oh, that's a Mesolithic one. We only have 24 more, no, 23 more historical years before we no longer get any. Oh wait, we can go this one here. This is good as well. So what is her problem? She doesn't have a proper housing. But can you see that she is 25 compared to the others who are 30? This means that she has not slept in the open lately. It means she has been in or around the fireplace areas when she's been sleeping, which is unrest reduction compared to sleeping in the open. So just keep in mind, the better facilities you have for sleeping services, the less numbers you will have behind no proper housing. Yeah? Let me see, what is she? Aloof, yeah. She loves to walk alone. That's fine. Who doesn't? Even I do that, and I can be very extrovert. I can be very social. But then again, you all have days where, no, I just want to be alone for a bit, and that is completely normal and fine. If you never want to be alone, then you are 100% extrovert, which is fine as well. So there's that. And she's a bit slow. It's the lowest grade of negative intellect. A bit slow learner. It's fine. It's no big deal. The learning pace is not super affected by this, only very, very small. She can perhaps make a few silly things or do a few silly things, but it won't be anything that is affecting your tribe as such. But it is a warning though, if it go really, or if it go any higher, she can start making a difference to the tribe's work. How she functions is directly correlated to her grades. Traits are static. They are born like that, and they can be changed based on circumstances, but her grades are non-changeable. They will forever stay the way they are. If you are frail, you are frail. If you are aloof, you are aloof. She does not have any of the other biological things. She is female. Just a female. Sure, just a female. It just sounds odd, doesn't it? Just a female. Yeah, female, fine. She's strong. Her fitness is plus 31. And I do like the description. I'm the one who smashes things. It fits. She's also Mesolithic, isn't she? So going a little bit back to the Neanderthal behavior, which I've said before is incorrect view of the Neanderthal. I'm not sure we all agree to that, and there is a lot of controversy, but it has been proven that there's a lot less caveman in the Neanderthal than we have thought for decades. Anyway, back to this. So this will negate a lot of issues. If you have a person that has a positive grade, any positive grade of the trait fitness, you can get away with higher work hours for longer time. But this does not go for kids, because they are still growing no matter their traits, no matter their grades. So just keep that in mind. Don't be fooled by this. And then she's resolved, which means she will have higher will, which in turn can be both good and bad. It can be bad because if she had bad fitness, if she had a negative grade of the fitness, she would quickly be complaining, and she would also quicker leave the tribe. So let's have a look at her will. Yeah, her will is 133 out of 133. She is maxed and her will is really high. So if she's unhappy, be careful. Just saying, this is trouble. This is trouble. Oh, this one looks good, doesn't it? Or what is he? He's unhandy. It's not too bad. He's a bit clumsy. So that's probably why he's He's only gathering berries or doing these chores, which is mundane chores, restocking the dryer, doing some tanning, you know, perhaps create fine sticks, you know. So there's that. He's smart. He's robust. Yeah, you're a healthy dude, aren't you? And then he's resolved. Yeah, he knows what he wants. That's good. That's good. So he might be a bit unhandy, but that doesn't necessarily mean he won't achieve whatever he wants to in life. I'm pretty sure he will, because there are plenty clumsy people who are doing really well. I mean, we're not all the same. It's all good. Doesn't mean that we won't succeed just because we have a grade that is not fantastic. It doesn't mean that at all, does it? Okay. Oh, we're back to planting again, and the beets. That means the wheat is done, because the wheat is always first. And since that is the case, I will open up the wheat so the leftovers can be eaten. Ta-da! You can see I've turned down the others with regards to work spots. I've turned down the income of these, so they won't bring home a ton of everything. Because the more tasks you have in a group, the less of each they will come home with. Because even though there are tons of one type very close to the camp, the gatherers will try to divide their time evenly, based on vicinity though, on the tasks you have given them. But they won't blindly always pick whatever is closest. They will try to do a little of each. So which is also important to remember when you give a group with say 4 people in it 8 tasks. It means that you will get less of each than you would if you took away 4 tasks and had 1 task per person. So keep that in mind. The more tasks you're giving a group without increasing the people in it, the less of the resources will come home. They will come home with all the resources, but in much smaller numbers. So keep that in mind. Especially new players who does not understand why your 2-man group with the 12 tasks is only coming home with 2 of each every day. Yeah, keep that in mind. The increase from 14 to 21 work spots in your group should help us a lot. So use your groups really well. We will just I'm going to show you as we go along how to adjust the stuff, and I'm sure the majority of you people are already doing it, but what I see with many is the lack of balance. They need to constantly adjust because the balance is not always right. It's not easy to handle. It is not easy to read your environment that well. But I am 100% sure if you allow yourself to be guided by the reaction of the environment, you will do a lot better. For every action you do, there is an opposite and equal reaction, or is that physics? I think it applies here as well. Not necessarily equal, but certainly opposite, or is responding reaction. So keep that in mind. So if you overfish, what does the environment do? The environment lowers the fish, doesn't it? Because it empties. So this is what I'm talking about. If you come home with 1200 hazelnuts in December, then you will not come home with 1200 hazelnuts the year after. So this is how environment responds to you. Of course, pending seed and also dissemination, because a lot of the plants are in the soil now. They are growing. For instance, a hazelnut tree can take up to 8 years to fully grow from the ground all the way to maturity where you can harvest its nuts. So keep that in mind. It's all based on reality. And you don't get a hazelnut over the summer. Hazelnut tree over the summer. Okay, so do I have 10 of those again? I do. That means I should, in theory, place down 1 more of the straw huts. Do I have enough sleeping arrangements for everyone now, though? Oh god, I have to do maths. Oh, seriously. So, what are those? Those are 18. What is 18 plus 14? I have no clue. And it was funny that I'm not flipping kidding either with my calculator. Let me see. Was it 14? It was, wasn't it? That's 32. So, I have space for one more. Right. So when you see the babies, they don't take a sleep spot. They sleep with their mothers, meaning a sleep spot. It is only when they're 2 years old and being left, taken out from the sling that the mom is carrying them in when they are babies. That's when they start counting sleep spot, and then they are roughly 2 years old. That is static. There's no changes there. They will always be like that. What are you unhappy about? Did you sleep in the open? But see, more and more people are sleeping in hot, so you can see more and more people are losing their angry faces. He had to sleep out by the fireplace. So did he, and she, and she. Yep. But when this straw hut is done, then everyone has a place to sleep. Straw huts are neutral quality, meaning that they won't make people more unhappy, but they also won't take away any of the happiness. They will keep it static. They will keep it leveled, while these will take away parts of their unrest, which is fantastic. I mean, that's the way it should be, isn't it? You should have options to always have something to improve people's happiness. So it takes away quite a few percentages of the unrest. So when people don't have the angry faces, you know you're doing things right. Because people will tell you. If you cock up something, people will let you know, just like in real life. They all turn into these proverbial, stereotypical Karens if you do not do them justice in the game as well as in real life. Let me see. Yeah, so it's a few still that has to sleep in the open. I do like that they have changed that when a hut needs repairs, you can still sleep in it for quite a while before it becomes so needing repairs that you can't sleep in them, which is good. It takes quite a bit of dilapidation before they can no longer be slept in. If it rains though, you might get a drop or two on your nose, but it's better than sleeping in the open anyway. Okay, so you can see that the wheat is done and the beets are done, so that means we can open those as well. I will probably not be doing this when the population is 200 plus, because if you lose like 20 out of 800, it's not really that big a deal. Just don't do it repeatedly on over several storage facilities, because then you suddenly have 200 loss, and then it is more, isn't it? Then it's a bit more serious. So I have left to do the flax. There are a few of the flax that still needs to be done, and also the peas, which are always last to be done. Wheat are always first and peas are always last, and it's the same with harvesting. Wheat no, it's not. The beets are done long before the wheats. The wheats are not done until late summerish, and the beets tend to be fairly early summerish, and the peas are even later than the wheats. It's very late autumn. So there's that. Okay, I would like them to eat up the beets. So the food preference that maybe not everyone is aware of makes people go for different types of foods. So for any new players, if you see that your tribe is beelining for only one type of food, it is because you have been a bit unlucky and gotten a tribe that has a lot of the same tastes when it comes to food. Now, it's not just one favorite they have a list of favorites. So if their favorite food is not available, they will go to the next favorite food. It just like real life. Just transfer real life thoughts and knowledge into the game and you will get really far. So there. Okay, so now we have enough housing for everyone, so nobody should sleep out in the open. That means there should be no unhappy faces. Can you see any unhappy faces? No, there are no unhappy faces. Now my question is, are you guys at the same level? Do you have unhappy faces? Do you actually have access to the same houses that I do? If you don't, you might not have on faces that are not unhappy. You might actually have quite a few angry faces, but at least some sleeping arrangement is better than none. So just praise yourself lucky you have any housing at all. So there's that. Right, how are we doing with eating up the old stuff? Yeah, well, they don't particularly love beets in this tribe, which is fine. Ish. It's only fine-ish, not fine. Okay, so lacking only these now. No, they are done as well. Look at me not paying attention. You can see the sticks, meaning everything is done planted, and these are as well. That means we should open everything. Ta-da! How many do I have on the extra group for? Okay, so this is just a straggler group. So I don't really need them to do this only. What else could I do? I don't need more straw. I don't need more reed. I'm going to take down the amount of reed because there should only be maintenance numbers now until there's a need for more. Those can go down to 1 again. And these can go down to maintenance, and so can these. What was the other one? There. So if they... like that. So when I have so many stragglers, like I have now, I have 13 that I don't really need as such. As a player, you can do a few things to negate this. You can take down labor age if you would like. This is never a bad thing because this makes sure that the younger ones have more years to quicker grow their fitness. Ergo, they can quicker start working because as soon as they reach roughly 80 out of their max fitness, say you have 100, then when you are 80, you are ready to start working. Say your fitness is 120, then you are ready before. I don't quite know the calculation, but it is responding to your max fitness. So the lower fitness you have, the longer it takes for your person to be able to work, because you need at least, I think it's so and so many percentage of max overall fitness before you start working. There's calculation that I have no clue what it is. I just know how to place out in game. So that is one way to do it. Or you can do what I normally do. You can start projects. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to give the projects to the straggler group, because straggler group means free people who do not have any other task that is pressing or needing to be done in the tribe. So you can see we do not have the big men here yet. We only have the smaller ones. So let's do the smaller ones. I'm just going to show the very easy way to do it with regards to positioning. Is just to sort of create a circle-ish and then just let your groups work with that. So that's roughly ish circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to show specifically new players how you can use free people instead of over harvesting or coming home with way too many resources. You can easily put them on project duty, because as you can see we have over 21 people not doing anything at the moment. So whenever these 21 people are needed elsewhere, since the priority is the absolute lowest, they will go immediately to wherever they are needed. So when you see that one group with a high priority is empty, it means they have fulfilled their task for the day. So there's that. What are you lacking? Yeah. No, no, 30 is fine. I'll leave it at 30 and just have one person in it. So these are still working. That's probably because they are still gathering sticks. And you can see the sticks are 192. I am exaggerating the sticks a little bit. I'm not too worried about small amounts of waste because it's not a critical resource with regards to how much we have of it. It's basically, if you have trees, you have sticks. So, and you can see we are surrounded by trees. We will have sticks until kingdom come, seriously. There is another thing I would like to show, especially new players, and also some of you seasoned ones who does not quite get the different colors in the new fencing system. So let's just quickly go over the new fencing system. Let's, for example, place down a gate. And there you go. We finish it off like that. Green, fully green, means it is connected to itself. You know, it has no other connections. It is only a section and it's itself. Then we want to do the fencing. So when we place it here, now they are connected. If we place a long line and there are no interruptions, you can see all are green, meaning they are fully connected, right? But now we're going to do something different. So if we start here and then go here, can you see that the 2 points, there are 2 points that are red. The first point is telling us we have no connection. That is on the previous fence. That is the fence that is supposed to be connected to. This means there is an obstruction. And if we go to the point number 2 that is red, we are being given where the obstruction is. So let's change it. Change the angle. And now we are being told by yellow, we can now form a connection. We have now made a connection. So keep this in mind. If you see red, it means there is a lack of connection. So let's do it double so you can see how it is in both ends. I'm going to do it here. Actually, I'm going to put on pause so they don't start working on it. Look at them all coming to work on what I'm placing down. Yeah, I should have put on pause immediately. Right, so, okay, now they're saying you have a connection. And can you see they are already reporting you are no longer in connection, and they will also report you lack connection to your end point. And when you go further, it will also tell you with prolonged red color is you are over where you need to be, and system will not allow you to do so. So the first snap to tells us we have no connection to the previous part, or we have no full connection because in the middle somewhere there is a break in the connection. Yeah, you can see it. So if we work away from that, you can see that the yellow at the top shows, yeah, we can make a connection here. And if we then go this way and avoid the obstacles, then the second point reports we have a connection here as well. Ta-da! We have a fully connected piece of fence going around here. So now I have to take it all away. Okay. Well, it has to be done. I had to show it because, you know, not all things in the game is easy to learn. If you do not have all the information behind any changes or any features, it's not always easy to get it, you know. So it's totally fine that people are still wondering how does the snap to fencing work and what are the different colors. If you think traffic lights, yellow is waiting, green is good, red is bad. Basically, ish. You know what I mean. It doesn't quite explain everything, but in this case it's a good indicator, isn't it? So keep that in mind when you are building fences. Also, there is a limit. If you place down, say you place down 100 fences, that should be fine. If you continue to build down to place down 2 million fences, the system will stop you. So you can place down, say, 100 fences, and then if you try to place down 200 more, you will be allowed to see the blueprint with regards to you planning where to put it. You can see the blueprint is yellow, red, and will give you the signals of how you're doing. But when you try to give the command to the system to actually do this, they will ignore you because you have built too many of the same. So what you do then is that you wait till a few of them have been built, and then you are free to build more. So there is a limit to how much you can plonk down the same time. Just keep that in mind. There are a few players who are reporting that the system does not want to place down their fencing, and the time the system will deny you a fence is when you either have too sloped under the fencing, or when you have built too much in one go. That's the only time you cannot place down whatever you see fit with regards to fencing. So keep that in mind. Indeed. So, oh, you can see it's all growing. So what I sometimes do, I will show you when we have harvested, to get covered all the squares that has nothing on it. Because they don't always grow all the time, whatever is hindering them to start with, meaning that when they have harvested it once, it might not come up again next year, because it's real life. Some die and never come back, while some die and come back up again. Then we're going to place a new farmland directly over this one and assign it exactly the same as we have now. And that is how you can fill out your farm as the natural vegetation is giving in and then giving the space to you. So we will do that. I just need to remember to do that. Okay, this circle looks weird. Is it actually a circle though? It's kind of like a squircle, isn't it? A bit squircle-ish, square and circle. That's fine. We can have a squircle if we want to have a squircle. I don't conform to these things. Square or circle. I'll take a squircle, thank you. Anyway, so no unhappy faces, which is fantabulous. And you can see you should not have more resources of the critical ones. I still call reed a critical resource. You should not have more of the critical resources than you actually need per 6 months-ish for repairs. And that's it. Do not keep a million reed or fiber or raw fine raw stone or flint cores in camp unless you are building and will be using them very shortly, because what we can never beat is nature. Nature in this game for now will always win with regards to reduction of decay. So the longer you can wait and the lesser amounts you have in your camp, the more years you can survive and the more resources you will have as the years go by. Keep that in mind. Do not mass harvest anything unless you actually plan on using it for either building projects or building new stuff or for maintenance. And maintenance in a tribe this size should not be high at all. Keep that in mind. So how's our squircle doing? Yeah, it's a lovely squircle. I like it. I accept. It's all good. We love you. Do I have dryers? I do. Gosh. Oh! Yes. Now this is the kind of weather that I like. No, this is... I love this. I can't help it. A lot of people also use rain and thunder and, you know, like mild storm sounds or sea sounds to sleep, and it can be really, really relaxing, because today's society is extremely stressed. This culture of always be maxed out and be rocking at everything all the time. It's not how we should really be. We should take the time to not rock at everything all the time. You can't rock at everything every day all the time. That's a no from me. I want to have bad days. Bad days are normal. Bad days is okay. Anyone saying, oh, I've never had a bad day in my life? Really? Really? I have no problems. Really? I'm doing okay all the time. Really? Oh, lovely. I love this. You can make really cool screenshots if you manage to capture it as the lightning strikes. The blue color is so pretty. Right, let's get back to business. Can't keep on like this. It's going to take ages. Because you guys probably don't have rain. Well, I do. So now my lovely stragglers are doing something useful-ish. Projects are not useful, but they will be. In the next patch, belief, they will be useful. Just wait and see. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's so friggin' awesome. There has been so much development in this game. Are you serious? It is so packed. If you go back 1 year or so, there was basically nothing compared to what it is today. It's so much and I love it. I just love it. I do wish we had, from one thing to the next, a proper storage arrangement for reed, because we do have the haystack for straw. I just wish we could also perhaps use it for reed, because it takes away quite a bit of decay. I think it's like, how much is it? I need to go check. See, because I can't remember it on the top of my head. Yeah, it's a 38% reduction in decay compared to in the open storage area, and I'll take that any day. I'll take 10% any day, seriously. I should have one for honey, shouldn't I? Because honey is a animal produce, and there are no animal products or produce in the pits. The pits are only for plant produce. Well, the baskets are, you can put everything in the baskets, can't you? But you should only use basket. This is for new players, not you seasoned ones, because you all know this. So for new players, use baskets only for animal products and also animal produce. Flour can also be placed in baskets, but use pits for everything else, because baskets do not have a better decay quality than your pits. Pits have higher. So these have a 75% better than no, these are 50. It's a 50%, 25% increase in reduction from baskets to pits. So use pits wherever you can, and of course the storehouse is the best. It goes without saying, because that is, I can't see the percentage, but it is basically 6 times higher than around the fireplace or any other open storage area. Yeah, there's calculations there that I don't know how to explain. I just know how they functions in game. I'm sure a lot of you people get this math stuff 10 times done better than me, because I don't get it at all. But there you go. We can't rock at everything, can we? All the time, every day, non-stop. I love the flax. Look how beautiful they are. They are so pretty. Okay, so now they are harvesting the beets. Oh, they managed to eat up what was there. That is great. Good. But we still have a lot of... Look at all the seeds. Look at all the grains I need to get. Oh, wait, can I build? I can. Let's start making bread. We cannot make bread out of the flax seeds yet. So they needs to be eaten as is. But we can make bread out of the wheat. Oh, we don't have any... we don't have mud. I knew that. Niet mud. Okay. You can get the mud we need, which is 250 per oven. So we do that, and then we wait a bit. So these are using fine raw stone as maintenance material. And I don't particularly like that, I have to admit, because fine raw stone is a very critical material, and if you run out, you run out. That's it. If you run out of flint cores, you run out. And that's it. When you have a 100+ tribe, there is no way that the small trickle that we have been given, where fine raw stone and flint cores are replenished in the rivers, being washed down from the mountains, is actually going to make or break or make a difference in keeping your tribe alive. Because you need to remember, if you don't have enough tools for everyone, their work will be diminished, their work will be hampered and slowed. And when you have 100+ or even 200, 300, 400+, if you get the work balance wrong, you will never make it. You have to have a good balance between workforce and income. If your workforce is so high that nothing else can get done in the other groups, you cannot make it. I'll just say it straight out. If you come to a point where you need to max out any groups for only one resource, it's time to migrate, because then the area is dry. It means you cannot maintain your tribe the same way without that resource. And flint cores and fine raw stone are crucial to your efficiency. It's crucial to the best usage of workforce versus your income. So when your workforce is no longer bringing home what they need, it's time to migrate, because then the area is dry. And this is the way it has to be for now, because we don't have trading yet. Because when trading comes, then we can trade our excess for things that we lack, which is fantastic. And I can't wait for that either. Actually, I can't wait for anything that I know is going to come. I can't wait for anything. I want it now. I'm the instant gratification gamer. I want everything now. Preferably 5 minutes ago. Actually, preferably 1 year ago. But there you go. So there's that. Okay, so where are we? Do we need more wood? We do not. We still have 11. Yeah, and we have... Yeah, the... you can see that the peas are too many. They are pretty much halfway rotting, and you can see that also the flax seeds are too much. So you can see for a 30 population-ish, 30, 35, this is still too much. And even though I've turned down basically every other food type, with only one person gathering them, we still have a bit of waste in the food. But I think we should just leave it at this, because the loss of cultivated plants that goes because people can't eat it all up is 1,000,000 times more acceptable than wild produce loss, because that is easy to control, or it's worse to lose than a few of the cultivated crops, because the cultivated crops you change, you can decide the amount. For the workforce you have, you can decide. When you have 400 people, you can have 400 farms, almost said. You know what I mean? You can change that, but the environment will always stay the same, and it will in fact be diminishing year by year. And although the devs have changed the diminishing rate drastically to to prepare the player community for a sedentary life, there is still diminishing, isn't it? Because that is belonging to real life. Everything needs to be replenished. Everything needs a rest and to recuperate and redo things. So if you are wasting a bit of cultivated plants, that's fine. That is fine. It doesn't become critical yet. The critical part is when you have several hundred population. Then you need to rethink what you're doing. But if we get to that point, which I hope we are going to, I will show you how you can make it work. You are, however, depending on the seed that you have in your locality, because the seed are still the same as it used to be. You either have a good seed, normal seed, or bad seed, and all the grades between there. You will have a lot more normal seeds than you will have good seeds, and you will also have a lot more normal seeds than you will have bad seeds, and then you have the grades between each step of these. There is like a ton of calculations to how this is working, and there's a ton of calculation as to each and every type of plant in your locality based on culture, timeline, temperature, humidity, elevation, etc., etc. There is so much details to absolutely everything that has been done. Even, even this grass here has probably a million calculations as to why is the height it is the way it is now? Why is the place the way it is now? There's so much I can't even begin to explain it all because I don't know it all. I know so little when it comes to the calculations and how they have come to use the research that they have done years before they started programming this game. I know nothing about that. It's way above my head. Way above. I just know how it turns out in game. I just know the gameplay and how it's supposed to be compared to how it's not supposed to be. So if you need to talk about mathematics or calculation stuff like that, don't come to me. I can't explain it because I don't know. It is what it is. But each and everything is very calculated. Okay, so do I have enough? I do. I have enough mud. Let's get an oven so we can make bread. Ta-da. Let me see. Have we already made? We do. We are going to need a basket for the flour because it needs to be taken care of. So you can go. You can go there, and then I will have bread in. No, I don't like the positioning. Sorry, I'm a bit weird there. A little bit OCD, which is also fine. It's totally fine. We're not all A4. All is good. And normal. Let's go. More normal than many people think. There you go. Ta-da. I'm still shocked that the baskets are now 16 fiber to build. Just saying. I will probably never get over that. I was just so shocked when they did that. Okay. You're almost done. Very pretty. Right. Okay. So this one is for the flour, and then this one is for the bread. They love bread. Everybody loves bread. It is everybody's taste. It's on the list of favorite food, without doubt. Do I have any? No, I don't think there are more balls for my baconeers to hunt. Fine. That's good. The boars eat so much of your wild produce. So if you are planning to, if you are playing the Neolithic and you want to try to be sedentary with agriculture, you really should hunt the boars because they eat quite a lot and they get quite a few offspring per year as they live, meaning there will be more that is eating your wild produce. The wild dogs are also eating your wild produce, but in much less amounts than the boars will do. So I always hunt the boars when my agenda is long-term survival in the same area. So if you want to min-max your survival, min-max the time you can stay, hunt all the boars and keep your hunters hunting them. Just never take it away, just leave it, because the second the boars come back to map, when they immigrate to your area, the hunters will seek them out and make bacon out of them, basically. That's it. And that's it. And also for new players, the default, I need to go pause so they don't start hunting. Default is all prey being hunted. Whatever you click in will be hunted. So for anyone doing this, why? No need. Because this is the same without any work. So only click in what you want to be hunted. If you want to hunt everything, leave it like that. Also, choose your size. You don't have to do either big or small. You can do medium as well. Be careful with constantly hunting absolutely everything. If you are, you should really make sure that the young ones are being left alone. And you should also not hunt all year round. Because even though the hunters will avoid pregnant animals, if there are nothing else close by, they are likely going to go for the pregnant animals, and that is a pure loss for you as a player. It's pure loss for your tribes. So keep an eye on your hunters, because they are not always doing what is best for the tribe, even if they kind of want to. They just focus on getting food home for the tribe. So yeah, so be careful with that. I will kill all the boars though, so I have on all sizes. And also the better equipment they have, the better work they will do with regards to how quickly can they kill an animal. So if you have very poor tools, it will take much longer for them to kill or to hunt down and kill an animal. If you are training or practicing on skill for hunters, and if you do not want to mass hunt and have a lot of members, give them the worst tools possible. Just give them the wooden spear. Do not give them bows and do not give them flint spears, because then they will hunt quicker and they will learn less. The longer they have to hunt to get an animal, the more they will learn. Keep this in mind if your hunting is very low and you want to increase it. Do it like that. Ta-da. So there's that. You can see that we are now going out of summer and going into early autumn. And we have lots of rose hips still. And many of these will not be plucked, because I have set only one work spot. As you can see, only one of them will be gathering, and they will only be gathering a max of 30 to maintain in the camp. So if people do not eat the rose hips, they will not get more, because when they reach the limit, they will stop gathering. That's how this system works. So some of the seeds will go into the ground and then reseed basically and start growing. So that's a dissemination where the seed is spread and then it comes back up after a few years and it creates a new source of food for you. So keep that in mind. This is also one of the reasons why you should limit everything and not pluck everything there is, because you are stomping the growth of new food resources. So limits are good for more than one reason. Keep that in mind. So how many do we have? 32. And no pregnant yet, only one baby. Sure, roughly one per year when the tribe is this small is totally fine. I prefer a slow growth rate rather than a stark one. Because if you have a stark one, you suddenly have drastic changes you need to do. I prefer more to do like every 4 to 6 months changes that I can use for another 4 to 6 months or even years, depending on how the environment is responding to my actions, or how I am responding to how the environment is giving me signals. So it's definitely a cooperation here going on between you as a player and the environment. See here, it looks like, oh, it's lacking a piece of fence. Can you see that? But in order to test if you actually do lack a piece of fence, what do you see? What is the white and the gray? It shows covered, which means if you try to build extra fence to make it look better, you will be told by system, no, this is already covered. This have a connection. So no matter what you try to do, it won't make any difference. So this way you can check if you have a secure fencing. So basically, if you have built a full fence and you want to make sure you have covered it so there are no animals coming in, make sure that everything has the white and grayish color, because that way you can see where can any animals come in. And as you can see on this fence, they can come in nowhere. If they can come in, you will see that there is no color underneath the fencing. You will see no colored blueprint. There will be no blueprint because that means there is an opening there. Right. Also, what I wanted to show that I didn't do earlier is when you have a fence, I'm gonna put on pause so they don't start building because they don't need that. I will on purpose pick an area where they have removable objects. Objects that cannot be removed will show as red. Oh wait, did I miss the tree? I did, didn't I? Such an idiot. I was supposed to hit the tree. And of course I missed it. Let me see. Well, the areas that have things that can be removed. Let me see. Am I not hitting it now? Oh yeah, I am. There you go. Will show yellow. So I'm gonna just let them build this, and then we're gonna come back and see what this looks like when they have removed the tree. Because at the moment we have a connection through the tree, but when they take away the tree, which they will do in order to be able to build this fence here, you can see, then there will be a gap unless my angle is making it complete. This is something we can all learn from, even me. Because even though I've tested this fence for weeks on end, there are still things I do not know myself. Oh then. So we're going to go back to that one in a few ticks and just let them do that, and then see how it goes when they have removed the tree, because it should be a gap, or the angle has made it complete anyway. Yeah, so now we have honey as well there. Honey won't be much here. It should be, but it probably won't, because it's not as stable. It is more a luxury than anything that people need to rely on to have a lot of, because they want, and they love honey. They will beeline for the honey, guaranteed. Oh wait, I need to save some seed. Quack. Okay, no, they need to go, because they will not last. Look, they're almost decayed away, almost 3/4 of the way. But that's coming in new, so then they can eat from that one while we save up this one. So you might need, like, I don't know, 15, 20 seeds for this. So we will basically be where we need to be with regards to those. Oh, you're kidding. No, Lily, you didn't. I forgot to save my beets. We won't have any beets next year. I need to go harvest them from the wild and hope for the best. This can happen to anyone. Just saying. If you do not remember to save your flipping seeds, you will have 0 harvest the year after. Oh, this is so typical. I'm supposed to show you guys how to do it. Well, do as I say. Don't do as I do. Oh, this is great. Well, it shows that we can all make the same mistakes. No matter how high a throne you think you sit on, you're still sitting on your bum. So there. Okay, how are you guys doing here? That's the tree. Okay, you need to crop it away, and then this will be built. And then we will see... Oh, where's the other part? Did I take it away? Oh my goodness, are you serious? Did I take away? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I took away the connection point. The point between the tree. I give up. I'm just going to have to do it when I actually know what I'm doing. Because I want to show you how it can be seen. How you can figure it out when you have lost the connection point. When you lost the connection. But instead I'm just cocking up everything, including my flipping seeds. It's because I babble along while playing. Seriously. 2 brain cells. Sharing all the tasks. So there. But maybe I need to... No, I'm not worried about the others. I just need to remember to... I'll close this one off immediately. Ta-da! And these are in need of... I can do this one to make sure. But I need to eat up the other things. Okay, so now we need people to focus on getting the beets. Oh gosh, I hope they're still in season. They might not be. Guess what? You guys are gonna go for beets. Please be in season. They should be. Yeah, go get beets so I can get some beets next year for harvest. Please, please. Yep. Both the good and the bad are shown here. There's no hiding, no editing away any cock-ups. Oh, brothers. Right. There's a lot of wild wheat here, isn't it? Much more than we need. Okay, so they've come home with 2. That means a little bit help along the way. Not all doom and gloom. Because remember, if you do cock up and people are eating up your seeds, you can get some back from the wild, but it won't be the same amount, will it? The first year you can be really lucky when you land and have the year 0 feast, as I call it, where everything is untouched, so you will have insane amounts coming into camp, depending on where you are, obviously. This doesn't go for everywhere. But if you cock up and lose seeds because you don't pay attention, like my error was, babbling too much, you can get it back from the wild. You just need to harvest it and then remember to save it. And even though the amounts are not big, you will increase them incrementally by the cultivation. So no worrying too much there. It is, I guarantee you, going to be a lot worse if you cock this up when you have 400 plus population. Now that could result in pure famine. So do as I say, not as I do. Do not forget to save your seeds. Okay, so now they are doing the piece, and then the planting season is over. How many do I have there? 35. That's plenty much. 45, fine. Okay, so I have 3. I have 3 beets. Are they still in season though? Let's have a look. Yeah, they still are. Because the system will inform you the second they are not. For any new players, if you hover over the state in the main page, you will always be informed what the problems are in your tribe. At the moment, the only problem we have is that we have hunted up the animals that we had picked to hunt, so there is no hunting. If we still had balls but not enough tools, the system will say that as well. And in order to figure out where is this problem coming from, you go to your groups and you can find that the only place that has an exclamation mark are the Baconeers, your hunters. And if you click the hunters, you can go and directly see why is there no hunting. They have the tools, but what do they not have? They have no animals to hunt because you have picked the boars only. So when it says there is no hunting, it means you have hunted to extinction the prey you set them to hunt. If you still had boars showing down here, the system would have informed you that they did not have enough tools to perform any hunting, meaning you needed to either create specific tools for the hunters or wait till tools that others were using for stuff, for instance fishermen, to come back to the camp so they could take over and go do the hunting. So all the reports overall can be here, while going into the groups we'll find the groups. Going into the groups we'll find all the details you need to either solve or fix or adjust the problem. Right. Also a few players do not quite get some of the family relations. It is not only biological. Let's have that said immediately. Family relations does not always mean you have to be related. You don't have to be related by blood. So the system has a safety net. If, for instance, you have a tribe with a lot of females compared to the amount of males, your males can father more children with more females. It doesn't have to be only the partner. And this is also congruent because there were no marriages and stuff like that. It was just agreements of partnering for survival. So if you see that there is a scandal incoming with regards to someone's partner having children with someone else, it is normal, it is congruent, and it is working the way it should be. It adds to the diversity. So that is good. That's her parent. Where is her mom? No mom. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So even if you see that a partnered up couple is having 4 kids, doesn't mean that all those 4 kids belong to both. Half of them could be hers and half of them could be his, with other fathers and other mothers. Because there's no such thing as a marriage in the Mesolithic. That probably came, gosh, it came with religion, didn't it? I actually don't know. I will probably find out at some point, depending on the cultures we are covering in ancient cities. Oh god, was I only supposed to get 3 beats? Are you serious? Oh no, they're still going. If I could get 10, I would be so happy. Can't believe I forgot to save my beats. This is what I'm telling you. If you don't pay attention to what you're doing... Yeah, now we of course won't have any stones for our squircle, but that's fine. Food above anything. Any projects, always lost. This is why only 3 people are doing these things. Okay. Let me see how far you guys have to walk to find anything. Let's have a little spy. Where is she going? She is going... Oops. In order to find this, you highlight the person you are going to spy on. Press X on your keyboard and then you can double click with your mouse to get to the point where she is going. And you can see she's going to crop this beet plant. And of course there's more here, which is also being targeted by the tasking system, which resets every night and gives you new tasks every morning. And the system will also always pick the closest tasks for your groups. So having the beets being so far away means that there are no beets any further for this group to find. And when you come to the very edge, you know that the beets are basically going to be gone very soon. I love the hazelnut trees, and I love that it's so easy to see from a distance as well. You can easily pinpoint where they are because they have this sharpish yellow tint to them, so they are very viewable from a distance. Okay then. Right. Did I? I did. Look, we have 9 bread. Bread is lovely and delicious. And you don't even need 1 full flour to get bread. And the input versus the outcome is really good with wheat. You get tons of wheat for only a few seeds, a few wheat grains. That is excellent. Let me see. Yeah, something I will always keep reminding new and old players. I don't care how long you have played. Do not mess with the clear task for tribes. Seriously. I have seen atrocious usage of it. I have seen people basically shooting themselves in the foot over and over again. When you are using the clear task tool and you are doing an area, you are basically telling your entire tribe, annihilate everything in this area, cut down everything you can see. And if you are doing that, I'm going to show you how bad it can be. First of all, if you're doing it here, you are first of all killing off one of your food giving trees. They will chop down your nuts, your hazelnut trees. They will also crop your bushes of rose hips. And if you cut down this tree, it can no longer reseed. It will die. You will never get food from this again because it will basically be gone. And when you cut down or crop the rosehip bushes, they will not reseed and give you more food. They will die and you will never get them back. When you are using it on fiber or reed, you might think you are getting a lot, but what you're getting is not a lot because you are also killing off any small sproutlings, any young plants, meaning you won't even get half of what you could have gotten if you let the system do it when the plants were mature. The system will never allow any gatherers to kill off young plants or sproutlings. That is something you as a player do, and it's bad. Don't do it. If you have a need to use the clear task tool to get some haste in gathering resources, make sure that you know what you're doing. If you do not know what you're doing, you could make the situation worse for yourself. Don't use it. Just saying. I will probably keep harping on about this for many years to everyone. Know what you're doing or don't touch it. Okay, so that was a lecture. That was the lecture of the day. Why are these not high priority, by the way? You should put everything you have built on high priority because that means when they are already built, the priority for repairs is going to be maxed out and they will immediately do it. Repair and building adherence is the strongest adherence in the game. It's stronger than anything else. Keep that in mind when you're placing down things. Do not overdo placing down because people will free themselves up from the groups and go and do your bidding. You could end up with nothing of materials or food coming into the camp while people are building. Okay. Have I gone down on? Yeah, you can see the rot circle on the reed is almost complete because I did not put down the the numbers in time to only have roughly 50, which is the maintenance numbers that I will keep for per year for these two reed buildings. Because since they weren't built at the same time, well, they will not need repairs on the same time, so you don't need to have 100 reed. You are fine with 50 per year. Just saying. Oh, we still have wheat that hasn't been done. The decay on wheat is quite high because we have no real place to store it. So it needs to be threshed rather quickly, because then the grains will last longer, and the grains also have a storage facility so they will last. So if you have the opportunity, build more than one thresh based on the amount of wheat. If you go by the decay, you can see that if it goes any further, say it goes to 3/4 before they are threshed, before they are gone into the thresher, you could do with building another, because then it will go faster. But for now we are still okay with only one, and we are also dividing over the year so that we still have things to do with regards to making bread throughout the year. But the bread went quickly, didn't it? It was like one night and then it was gone. Oh, we have four beets. Yes. Just have it for each beet we get. Oh, dude. One in that one. What if I haven't closed it down, and then it would be like 8 in this one and 3 here, and I thought everyone was in the same, and I would be so happy till I realized that the majority was in the one that wasn't locked down. It has happened before, it will probably happen again. Okay, so I just wish we could put the wheat or the reed here as well. That would be very useful. It would be good. But then again, reed is something that's supposed to be used really fresh and then dried in position where they are supposed to be for decades. So there's that. And the devs know what they're doing. I just want it better. I always want it better. Lily wants more. Always, always, always. Never satisfied. Need more. More. Okay. Year 2, we are going into winter. Okay, so I think, what is it? It's, oh no, okay, that means that we should almost be out of beets soon. Yeah, the reason why it says no raw stones available is because they have the responsibility for the projects. But I took away the stones on purpose so that they should focus on getting the beets into the house. But now the beets are so far away, so close to the edge of the map, that the workforce I have to use to get any back is basically not paying off. It's bad economy. So if I had not spent all my beets on people eating them, I would not have given them this task, because it's a waste of workforce. Remember that. If you take so much workforce to get 4 beets over several days, cut it out. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you have this overall in your tribe, it's time to migrate. Then your locality is bled dry. Yep, trust me. Migration is not bad. I like fresh starts. The only time I protest heavily having to migrate is when I'm in the middle of a project. I hate leaving projects behind. And we are not going to leave our Squircle. Our Squircle is going to be fantastic. Just saying. Oh, and when we can make the big menhirs, one is going to go in the middle. My OCD is having an issue. But this is a new invention. This is the Lilly Squircle. And it's real. And if people ask you, does the Squircle exist? You just say, it does now. So that. There you go. Okay, the good thing about this fence from one thing to the next is, first of all, you only take 4 sticks to build it. The good thing about this is not necessarily the amount, it's the resource. The resource is non-critical. As long as you have trees, you will always have sticks. And when you repair it, it takes 1 or 2 sticks and then it's good again. I think it's 2. 2 sticks and then it's good. And it does not steal your workforce the entire day. It takes an hour of their time and then poof, they're done. Just like in real life. Ta-da. All good and dandy. Where are my migrants? Oh yeah, I tell a lie. I did get 2, didn't I? I did get migrants. Just I couldn't remember them. Oh, I want somewhere that I can see my people. Now I have to pause and click one and then circle through. I don't like that. Are you overworked? Let's have a look at your thingies. Yes, you are indecisive, so you don't want to work. You're not a happy chap, are you? Oh, lad, lassie, whatever. Skillful. You are skillful though. You are skilled, but you are a whiner. And you don't want to work, because this has to do with will. You do not have anything with your physiology that should tell us that you need to chill a bit on the work hours. Being indecisive does not need to mean that you can't perform well. Plenty of us are indecisive. I mean, I can't decide shit. So there's that. Doesn't mean I'm indecisive and in a bad way. I'm just indecisive that I'm, not necessarily indifferent, but maybe I don't have any opinion I need to voice. Or maybe I don't need to put down my foot to say blah, 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 whatever. It's all good. Ish. Not in the game. Not all good in the game. If you are indecisive, you tend to whine. So, to all new players, if you have indecisive people, or lower fitness people for that matter, that complain that they work too much, and you are on default work hours, do not put the work hours down. Don't do it. Rather let them go. If you come to a point in your game where you have so much income that you are wasting basically on all areas, lower the work hours. That's it. That's the only time you should do it. And how often will that be? Basically never. Basically never in any large tribes. It is so rare. It is extremely rare to have that happening. So rather let go of those that keep complaining. If they get fed up too much, if their will is so high that they decide to leave, then let them go. Don't walk through hula hoops for those who do not want to work the same work hours as everybody else. Indeed. Okay, so are there still beats out there? At the very edges? Let's have a look. So since all tasks are reset at night, all the error messages or all the problem reporting from the system will go away and then come back when everything is reset in the morning. And as we can see, now that dawn has come and gone, we still have beetroots, but they will be so far away that the majority of them will not be plucked, because people are choosing to go to other groups with closer tasks that has higher priority. So keep this in mind, that if you have a straggler group, you can also induce something that I call the yo-yo effect, meaning that they will come and go rather rapidly based on free tasks in other groups with higher priority. So this is a little bit downside, that you can have this swing door effect on the straggler group, but it is the point of the straggler group to make sure that there is no idling of healthy young workers or healthy young people in your tribe. Let everyone do their chore, let everyone do their part for the tribe to thrive. So there's a bit of a backside to that medallion. But if you don't have too many straggler groups, you can get away with a little bit of revolving door yo-yoing between the groups. It is nothing that for now, at least in a small tribe, is hindering efficiency. If you have too much of it happening in a much larger tribe, you could have stumping on your efficiency of the tribe. So then I recommend you turn down the amount, first of all, the amount of people you allow into your straggler group, or you take away the priority. Place the priority on neutral so that they're not so readily jumping in and out. There are a few more ways to do this. You can also make it high priority and take down the work spot, and then you will perhaps have a few idle. You can try to calculate so that you get all your groups exactly filled with the amount of people you have in the tribe, so you have 0 idle that should not be idle, but all in group. If they have nowhere to go, they will stay in their groups. So if you have 15 people but only work for 14, even though one of the groups are done with all tasks and can do no more, since there is no space anywhere else, they will not leave your group. They will just stay. And that's it. Then they got the beats that were there. Okay, and then they went out of season, so whatever they haven't plucked near the edges will not be plucked this season. They will reseed and make new beats for next season. So now my straggler group can go back to gathering stones and do this squircle. Okay. So this has been part 2 of the play along series, and part 3 will come in a few days as well. Don't forget to let me know in the descriptions or in the commentary field below if there is anything specific you would like me to talk about. Otherwise, I will pick normally a lot of the frequently asked questions and the issues that a lot of players are experiencing with the game, and do my best to try to explain them as best as I can. I might not always manage to show it to you because I cock up as much as anyone else, but I kind of do know the mechanics behind things, so I hope I can help you anyway. Even though I fail at showing you everything all the time, I will try to get it right. No matter though. Anyway, this was fun as usual. I shall be seeing you hopefully next part as well, which is part 3 in a few days. Until I see you, have fun and take care.